Hey everybody, Joe Haygood here, aka mclazyj. We're back. Just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about the Virgin app and booking your reservations for dinner. And I had a few tips that I wanted to pass by. I am by no means an experienced cruiser. As a matter of fact, this is my first cruise, but I thought I'd pass by some of the things that I've learned over the time as I've been researching my voyage. Well, first off is, as you can see here, it says that we have 57 days to our cruise. Now you're saying, first thing that you'll know is, unless you're a rock star, you can book your reservations 45 days ahead of schedule, unless you have a top tier travel agent. We have been using Jason Carter from Seasun Vacations, and he has been excellent. And because of his status with Virgin and what he's been able to do with Virgin, he can actually get his clients 60-day booking. Now, normally that's something that's only available to rock stars. Now, the second thing is, only 30% of reservations open before the cruise embarks on the sea. So, the day that you can board, the rest of the reservations will open. But in the beginning, right now, only 60% of these reservations are available. So, what does that mean? It means basically that the people like rock stars and mega rock stars and the preferred access people get the choice reservations. It doesn't leave a lot of time slots left for those of you that are trying to get in at the 45-day mark. For our cruise, that will be, I believe, February 19th. For me, they went live on February 4th. Technically the 3rd, because it's February 4th, midnight Eastern time. We're in Pacific Zone. Means our reservations opened up at 9 p.m. on the 3rd. There was a little glitch. There was a problem. The reservations actually didn't open up until the next day around 10, 11 o'clock Pacific time because of something that was going on their end. Nothing we could do about that. So, that being said, here we are, and we have the ability now to do our bookings. So I thought I'd go over that and kind of show it. And while I'm at it, also giving you a little tip along the way about if you might not have access to that 60-day window, how you might still be able to get some reservations. So let's take a look here. Okay, so as you can see here, we have our options where we book our shore things and we book our event lineups. We can view the event lineups, browse the spa treatments. Now, the only thing you can really do right now, there's three things. You can book your dining. If you're inside that 60-day window and you have access to it, book your shore things, which actually opened up at 120 days for most people, 135 for rock stars and preferred booking clients. And you can buy more enhancements like bar tabs, Splash of Romance, although I think that might be sold out now on our cruise. They only offer about 75 to 90 of those passes. And by the way, it's $200. We got it for $200. I believe it's $250 now or $300. We bought it very early on before they raised the price. Just know that the biggest thing that you get out of that is you get priority boarding. After Rockstar, Megastar, Rockstars, and the Deep Blue Extras or whatever their sailing program is now, you get the next boarding group. So you're going to get on the ship very early. So if you haven't booked any of your reservations by the time you get there, or you couldn't find the spots you wanted, you'll get on the boat earlier. Now, key tip. You cannot book reservations until you are on the ship Wi-Fi. However, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be on the ship. You can, and I have found this out from multiple people, you can book as soon as you can get on the ship Wi-Fi, even if you are not on the ship. So let's say that you are in the waiting room or you're downstairs in the lobby in front of the building. If you can get on the ship Wi-Fi in any way, shape, or form, you can then start booking. You can start booking your dining. You can start booking. You can book the big things that you can't book until day you get on the ship, which is like the exercise classes, the bungee classes, things like that. They go very quickly. Anyways, I thought I'd go over the dining stuff real quick. When you go in here, you pick your day. You pick your dining party, and it'll show you everything that's available. Now you can see here. We've booked Gumbe for one day, and then I believe we booked Pink Agave for the next, and so on and so on. Now, you might notice here, we're booked for 2 at 6 p.m. on one day, but on the first day, we're booked for 4. This is one of the key tips I wanted to tell you. Let's say that you don't have access to booking dinners until 45 days, but you know somebody that's in a Rockstar suite, or in this case, somebody that has preferred boarding access or preferred booking access. If you make friends with them in the app, they can add you to the reservations, which we have done here. We had some friends that wanted to dine with us. We met them in a Facebook group. We added them. I was able to add them to my booking and make the reservation, and voila. They now have access to that restaurant through me. And if we were to do more bookings, either my wife or myself could add other people to our reservations if needed and if wanted. So it's really nice if you do have somebody that does have that early booking and you don't, and you're afraid like, oh man, I'm going to get stuck with like, maybe a 9 o'clock window or something like that. And you're like, I don't want to be dining at like 9:30, 9:45 at night. Like I want to have one of those key 6 o'clock times. Or in this case, we booked 7:15 because the sail away party's at 6. And we want free champagne. So make sure that you do that. Now, to kind of show what you can do here, I'm going to go to our next to last day because I'm not too worried about that. We go to our next to last day, and if you want to book, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete this booking at 6 o'clock, all right? All right? So, basically what you do is, I'm on the 12th. I've said I want to do dinner for 2. It tells me all the reservations that are open. We're going to go to our extra version. We're going to say, you know what? 6 o'clock. That's what we want. Me and my wife. If we wanted to add more people, we could go up here and add more people that were in the availability. But we don't. We just want to do myself and my wife. So we're just going to do that. And we're going to say book. Voila. Simple as that. Nothing too fancy about it. It's very simple, very easy to do your bookings. The biggest thing is just getting access to having a booking. And that's the biggest problem for some people, is getting that access time. It is, unless you have a preferred booking access, or you are in a very expensive Rockstar / Mega Rockstar suite, you do not have access till 45 days. But however, like I said, if you got a friend and that friend has access, get on their good side, do what you got to do. Make sure that you can get them to get you priority booking, because that's huge. That's a huge thing. It's great if you can get that, because it means that you don't have to worry about like, oh man, am I going to get a crappy 9 o'clock dinner time, et cetera, et cetera. But all in all, I did find the app friendly enough to use for this kind of booking stuff. And as a matter of fact, while we're here, I hadn't done this, but I'm going to go ahead and change this to brunch on the last day. Let's see if we can actually get brunch on the last day. We can. See, we can do razzle dazzle. We could do the wake. So I'm looking at maybe trying to do like what's our last time for brunch? Let's say we book like an 8:30. There we go. Because the last day that we're on the ship, we have access to still get food. We still have that ability to get food until like almost 10 o'clock. They kind of don't kick you off the boat until about 10, which is really nice. But it also means that we'll have the chance to go get brunch. And since we have a late flight that day, we originally were supposed to fly out at 3. And instead, our flight got delayed. It's moved. Now it doesn't leave until 5 o'clock in the evening. And the problem is I'm going to have 2 checked bags, a carry-on bag, and a backpack. Plus my wife is going to have her backpack / purse. So like, make a note of it. Get yourself some food in the galley. Book yourself a brunch on the last day. Do something. So that way you have the ability to get some food in your belly before you leave. Number one, it's included in the cost of your cruise, right? You're going to pay for that. It's in the cost of your cruise. And it means one less meal you got to pay for in Miami. Because let me tell you something. Miami's real expensive. We've been looking at some of the prices for some dinner and stuff out there. It's expensive. Our room was expensive. It's in the middle of spring break on top of it. There's no good from this. So do yourself a favor. Either stop by the galley, book yourself a brunch, and that way you can enjoy your time and you're not rushed. And you get, like I said, you get a meal that's already paid for from your cruise fare that you don't have to buy. It's all part of it. And you don't have to, like I said, spend more money in Miami for food, which is expensive. So from there, our bigger problem is just going to be like, after we do that, it's like, oh man, we're going to have to figure out what to do because I really don't want to go to the airport at like 11 o'clock in the morning. But I also don't want to shuttle luggage around for like 3 hours, 4 hours till we go to the airport. So we might just end up being like, oh, fuck, I guess we're going to the airport and dealing with it. So anyways, I hope this helped. I hope that the information that I was able to give you today really helped. It's not a complicated process. If you have friends that are rock stars or have preferred booking, get on with them and get some meals with them. We did it for some people with Gumbe on the first night. And, if you don't get what you want, like I said, there's only 30% of those bookings available. If you don't get the ones you want, don't freak out. Because like I said, as soon as you can get on the ship Wi-Fi, not on the boat, but can connect to the ship Wi-Fi, you can start booking more reservations and your exercise classes. Because them bungee classes, they check out real fast. So I'm still on the fence if I want to do a spin cycle class, because I've never done one and I'm scared to death. The last thing I want is to do like a spin cycle class and then end up being like, oh God, heart attack on the ship. No. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's like that weird frame of mind where you're like, oh man, I'm going to try something and it might end up breaking me. So let's hope that's not the case. Anyways, I appreciate everybody that might have checked this video out. I hope it helps you in finding out what you want to do moving forward. Appreciate everybody that's been watching. Appreciate everybody that's been following. If you haven't yet, check out some of the videos on the channel. If you're not following the channel, check out some of the videos. See if it's content that you like. I primarily make video game content, but I am slowly progressing to add travel stuff to that as well. So I'm hoping that you guys will take a time to watch some of that content. And if you're enjoying it, you'll give us a follow. You'll like, follow, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notifications when new videos go up or when I go live when I'm playing during lunch or in my evening streams. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. If you're on TikTok, I also would appreciate a little follow there. But yeah, till next time, thanks everybody for watching. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you're at, and we will see you next time. Bye now.